Dear students, today we are going to have overview about the subject medium and small enterprise management, which is there in third BBA 6th semester. Now let us consider the title medium and small enterprise management. If we elaborate the title, it could be like micro, small and medium enterprise management according to the MSMED Act 2006. So what is the importance of this subject and why this particular subject is included in final BBA 6th semester? After completion of your graduation, you may have different choices. One of the choices may be pursuance of your post-graduation in relevant stream. Second choice may be to become an employee in any organization, which is MNC or any organization. And third choice may be you yourself want to become an entrepreneur. This particular subject will be helpful for all these categories, because after joining an organization, maybe after certain duration, if you get certain expertise, you may want to turn up as an entrepreneur. After pursuance of your PG also, you may want to start your own enterprise. So medium and small enterprise management provides certain tools to manage micro, small and medium enterprises in different functional areas. This subject also deals with the incentives and support provided by the government, regulatory agencies, banks, financial institutions, special organizations meant for MSME sector will also be discussed in this subject. This subject has got 5 units. Let us discuss briefly about the contents of each unit in overview session. Let us consider the contents in first unit. Small and medium enterprises, their significance in Indian economy, problems and the steps taken up by the government to tackle the problems of MSME sector, a role of government in promoting small and medium enterprises, incentives provided to backward area development. These are the main contents in unit number 1. So first let us consider the different categories of MSME sector. So according to the MSMED Act 2006, so the categorization is like micro enterprises, small enterprises, medium enterprises and large enterprises. Before the commencement of the act, it was like small scale industries. The term industry is replaced with enterprise from 2006 onwards. So we are going to have the definitions of micro enterprises, small enterprises and medium enterprises in unit number 1. Along with that, the significance of MSME sector in Indian economy will also be discussed in unit number 1. The population of our country is more than 130 crores. Around 70 to 80% workforce will be there in the population. So it is impossible for governments to provide employability to this huge workforce. So significance of MSMEs in Indian economy will also be discussed. So in the criteria of the contribution of MSMEs to employment generation, the contribution of MSMEs with respect to the exports development, the contribution of MSMEs with respect to the overall economic development, the contribution of MSMEs with respect to the output of varieties of goods and services manufactured or rendered. So such kind of elaborated explanation will be held in the concept called significance in Indian economy. Then running an enterprise, whether it is a small or medium or micro, is not a cakewalk. There are plethora of problems. So what kind of general problems faced by this particular MSME sector will also be discussed in unit number 1. Along with that, what kind of steps is taken by government to eradicate to tackle the problems of MSME sector will also be there in unit number 1. The role of government in promoting small and medium enterprises is another important content in unit number 1, where we are going to have discussion about the government support, financial support, moral support, raw material support in acquiring raw material, support in promoting products and services, support in marketing activities will also be discussed in unit number 1. So last but not least, in unit number 1, incentives provided by the government to backward area development will also be discussed in this. Investment subsidies, subsidies related to power, providing infrastructure facilities, and various concepts will be discussed in unit number 1. Let us look at unit number 2. Unit number 2 is completely about project formulation. If you want to become an entrepreneur, you may not have sufficient funds to start your own enterprise, so you may be dependent on some external organizations like banks or financial institutions or government supporting agencies or regulatory agencies. So for that you need to submit a proper project to them by showcasing all the aspects of your business. Unit number 2 is dedicated to the submission and preparation of the project report properly, in which there are various contents. It starts with the project identification and formulation, then feasibility study, whether this business is feasible or not to be studied, and third one is how to prepare project report properly. So what is the appropriate location of the unit? So what are the facilities provided by industrial estates in the country or state, and what is the role of KIADB and TechSoc? Both are related to the Karnataka state, and so we have about KIADB and TechSoc in our syllabus, so we are going to discuss about them, and what is the registration process with district industrial centers will also be discussed in unit number 2. So let us consider unit number 3. In unit number 3, various functional areas of management come into the picture. So you know about various functional areas like finance, marketing, HR, and other logistics, supply chain management, and research and development, production, purchase department. Various functional areas are there. So out of which so we are going to touch the role of finance function in management of SMEs, as well as capital estimation. What are the various sources of finance like debt and equity? In equity also there are certain categories called venture capital, crowdfunding. So various concepts will be discussed in this unit, and subsidies and incentives provided by the government and other agencies will also be discussed in this unit. The concept venture capital and its pros and cons will also be discussed in this unit. Marketing and human resource management functions will also be there in this unit number 3. Let us consider unit number 4. Unit number 4 is about sickness in small and medium enterprises. What is the meaning, fundamental definition of sickness in SMEs will be discussed in this unit. What are the causes of sickness, both external and internal, will also be discussed. So what kind of preventive measures to be taken to avoid or eradicate this sickness in industries, and as well as what kind of remedial measures taken by the regulatory authorities to prevent this sickness will also be discussed. The role of BIFR in measuring, identifying or redressal process of the sickness will also be discussed in unit number 4. Now unit number 5 is about various supporting agencies to MSMEs will be discussed here. What kind of support is provided by SIDO, SSIDC, SISI, District Industrial Center, and other organizations will be discussed in this unit. It also includes the ancillary industries. Ancillary industry is nothing but which is manufacturing supporting products or services to the mainstream industries called ancillary industries. The role of ancillary industry in MSMEs will also be discussed here, and rural industries and artisans related information will be given in this particular unit, and overall prospects for SME sector or small scale industry in our country will also be discussed, will also be covered in unit number 5. This is briefly about the overview of medium and small enterprises management in 3rd BBA 6th semester. Thank you so much for your patience listening. So in next class we are going to have a detailed explanation about the contents of first unit in medium and small enterprises management. Thank you so much.